This episode of Piccalilli Tuesdays contains some strong language. Sorry about that.
Hello there. Welcome back to Piccalilli Tuesdays, that creative podcast that we've just started. Episode 2, Crazy Times. We're here. It's been a ride. Very, very excited for this episode today. It's a really fun topic. Really excited to get into it, as you'll, see. But first, like we did last week, we've got a few more nice breakers that we didn't do because it took too much fucking time. So I'm going to ask Luke a couple of questions. Luke's going to ask me a couple of questions. We found that they're better catered to us individually. So I'm going to go first and ask you one straight up.
Yeah, ready? Okay.
What is the strangest place you found inspiration?
Okay. I think for me, because at university, when I went down the sculptural route, I kind of fell in love with like themes of utopia and dystopia, and became fascinated with ruins.
Ruins?
Yeah, and like romanticism of ruin.
Nice.
So probably just some ruins.
So that's interesting because I wouldn't say that's strange.
Oh,
I'd say that
yeah.
that's. I think a lot of artists probably do find inspiration in ruins.
Yeah.
But I do see what you're saying. Any particular ones?
I always think about what are they called? There's like a walk near Falmouth that you can go. I mean, there's loads of walks.
Kennel Vale?
Kennel Vale.
Kennel
That's
Vale.
the one. There. And I've been going there since I was a kid. And I think, yeah, you too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
Being
bits of it.
fascinated with it.
Yeah. I remember bits of it as a kid that weren't closed off now and now are.
Yeah.
Because of the erosion.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, beautiful place that.
Yeah. So I think probably that.
That's cool. What a nice starter. I just noticed my freezer door is open. And that was to be shut. Thanks, Luke. Yeah, that was me going. How'd we get? Sorted out. 2-man job. Oh, that's not shut. What's going on? There we go. That's shut. Fuck's sake.
Okay. Question for you, Zeb.
Yes.
If your creative style was a flavour, what would it be?
A flavour. Well, I think my artwork and my illustration is quite, in terms of style, it's, jaunty, cartoonish, quite quirky. So I feel like a flavour that would complement that would be something, immediately I wanted to say bubblegum ice cream.
No.
Like as a flavour.
I love bubblegum ice cream.
I love bubblegum ice cream. But then, I don't know, because it's also got a bit of humour in it. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with bubblegum ice cream. It feels right for some reason. Like, I was going to go with, like Mr. Blobby's blancmange or something, but that's just too far in the realm of creepy. But bubblegum ice cream feels appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bubblegum ice cream.
The kids love it and adults do too.
See, that sounded sus. And your eyes were like, kids love it too. I do know what you're saying. Yes. I think me and you are the only adults I can think of that like bubblegum ice cream. I tell people, I like bubblegum ice cream, and they're like, what? I'm like, have you put it in your mouth? It's phenomenal.
But with your own sort of creative style, does that differ loads from like your work creative style?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because my job, I'm much more, it's more catered to what the client has given us in terms of like assets and visuals. Because a lot
Or like a brief.
Yeah, it's what I'm answering their brief, and in the process writing my own brief for someone else. So I don't feel like my style there is really visual. It's more how I direct the artworks and stuff. But if I had to put that down to a flavor, it'd probably be something like chorizo, punchy, versatile, smells like paprika.
Just a little bit of spice.
Just a little bit of spice, yeah.
Fine. If you could encapsulate your work into a character, who would they be?
Okay. I haven't actually thought about this question properly because I thought it'd be really easy. And now I'm struggling.
Put
to
on
think
the
of it.
spot.
Yeah, a character. It would definitely be some sort of cartoon character. Initially I wanted to say Mr. Blobby, but that's not right. I'm gonna go with a cartoon character, and I think it would probably be, you know what? Maybe Princess Bubblegum from Adventure Time. Maybe Jake the dog from Adventure Time. I feel like Adventure Time for some reason. It's ticking that box. Oh, you know what? BMO from Adventure Time. That's what my artwork is as a character. 100%. It's BMO, who is a little teal with Game Boy with arms and legs who walks around going, "I am BMO."
Nice.
But they are a brave, fearless character, but all encased in this cute, naive shell, which is what I think I am, but reversed. I don't know. I don't have a cute shell or bravery, but I like this character. That's what, yeah, BMO for Adventure Time. For sure,
Nice.
for sure. Okay. Those are the nice breakers. So now we're going to move on to a slightly different segment. Well, not a segment. It's just something which I think would be really good fun. And it's called What Have We Seen This Week?
What have we seen this week?
What have we seen this week? Something like that. Which is basically where we talk about something we've seen this week that we want to talk about. Something creative, obviously. It could be a film, maybe a bit of music, maybe a poem. Anything.
Okay.
But yeah, Luke, what have you seen this week?
Mine is actually a game.
A game?
Yeah.
That actually surprises me. Okay.
Yeah. So we I'd never heard of it or played it before, but we went over to some friend's house over the weekend and they were like, "We've got this game. It's in the garden." Apparently a lot of people are playing it in London at the minute. It's
Right.
like it's quite an old game.
What's it called?
It's called Cub.
I
I think that's how you say it.
Is it like Swedish Skittles?
Yes.
That's a sick game.
It's kind of, yeah. I mean, you got kind of hit it.
Yeah.
But you kind of, so there's like wooden blocks laid out in a lawn and everyone has batons.
Yes.
And you have to try and hit people the other side's blocks. Yeah, it's good.
It's a great game.
And in the middle is a king block.
Mm.
That's like the final thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Have you played it before?
Played it at Catherine's house in the back garden.
Nice.
Her parents got really competitive with it. Actually, no, her dad was like, "Oh!" every time he missed. It was hilarious because he's so quiet, and then he plays Cup, and he's like,
I guess invested.
"Yeah, it's brilliant." I can't wait to play it again with Steve. It's gonna be a good time. Excellent.
Seb, how about you? What have you seen this week?
What have I seen this week? Oh my god. Okay, technically it wasn't this week, but I would have talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
I went and saw Final Destination Bloodlines.
Oh,
It
God.
was absolutely hysterical. I was cackling the whole way through because the deaths, I don't know how they keep coming up with them. What a crazy job to have. So what are you going to do today? I need to think of 10 to 12 unique creative deaths for teenagers. It was insane.
Oh my gosh.
It
I
wasn't
couldn't watch that.
It wasn't a good film. Don't get me wrong. I didn't think it was great, but I fucking enjoyed it. The creativity of the deaths, though, was really good. That was the best thing about it, is that the death tolls, not the death, sorry, the circumstances where the teenagers are dying are just absolutely mental. A standout one would be probably when they try to cheat death by getting a kid with peanut allergies to flatline, so that when he is resuscitated, death leaves him alone. But it fails, and instead they accidentally turn on an MRI machine in a hospital, and a spring from a vending machine shoots out the vending machine and goes into his head.
No.
So that's what I saw this week, which I thought was pretty fun. I mean, yeah, it's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
'Cause if we had done this episode a few weeks earlier, I would have spoken about Sinners. But I think that needs an entire episode, because that is... yeah.
Yeah, we kind of threw some episode ideas around earlier.
Yeah,
today.
we
We've
did.
got some fun ones.
Fun ones coming.
Yeah.
Sinners has to make an appearance. Have you
Yeah.
seen it yet?
No.
Watch
No, I still haven't seen that.
Watch it.
Mm.
It's, yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Well, do you feel the ice is thoroughly broken? Do you feel like you could make some mojitos with it? would you go on, introduce our topic?
So, topic this week, favorite album art.
Yeah, favorite album art. Now, we should preface that what we mean by favorite album art, it's not favorite albums, is it?
Yeah.
Well, for you, it's not.
No. Maybe one of them is, but yeah.
Yeah, for me, I have a problem with removing favorite album from album art annoyingly because I find them so intertwined. One of the ones that we're going to talk about is my favorite album of all time, and it just so happens that it's also got some of the best art. But the other two are in no particular order. Like I couldn't place them. I was just like, I don't know where these land. So we're just going to talk about three each.
Yeah, that's true. Same for me. Yeah. I haven't put them in like a hierarchy. They're just
No,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Now like I said, there's one which is above the rest because it's my favorite thing ever. But yeah, I had to talk about it. The first one I want to talk about is I've got them on vinyl actually. A little bit of extra pretentiousness. First one I just want to talk about is M83's "Hurry Up, We're Dreaming." And I don't know if the camera can see that or not because we've got the window open, but it's fine. So
See?
okay, there you go.
Nice.
So M83's "Hurry Up, We're Dreaming." This is M83's first, I think their first double album. I might be wrong about that, but it's a M83 of a French synth wave pop group, dream wave. Basically my kind of music. Very very heavy on the synthesizers and quite orchestral in places. And so the album artwork it depicts brother and sister sitting on a bed in a sort of purple and blue lit room, and the brother is dressed in some sort of weird alien costume, and he's holding the alien mask there. I've chosen this one as one of my favorite bits of album artwork because, firstly and superficially, the photography is lovely. It's just the colors in it are amazing. The composition is amazing, and it perfectly captures what the album's about. So in an interview with M83, with the guy, he said that he actually wrote this album to remember his childhood. And I didn't know that when I was listening to it as a 17-year-old. And he said when he was writing it, he kept getting hit with memories of his childhood. Like before he even decided what the album was about, he was writing it and kept getting hit with these memories, but not in a sad way. Like it sort of, he was having this really happy nostalgia, which is actually a really big thing in M83's music. All of it sort of taps into nostalgia and like a feeling of going back in time, but as he says, like in a different sort of imaginary world. And I think this album art, when you listen to the album through and through, it perfectly captures this, to me anyway, this melancholy nostalgia. I think maybe it touches me in the same way that when Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears went viral on TikTok.
Right.
It was viral among a bunch of Gen Zers who were feeling nostalgic for a pastime which they were never part of.
Yeah.
And it's that feeling. It's like this longing almost for a childhood that I didn't experience but feel nostalgic for. It's such a strange thing. And every time I see this album artwork, I get filled with that feeling. Like it's got me asking questions about who the children are. What are they? Why is he wearing that outfit for? I want to be a part of what they are.
Yeah.
That's why I love it, because it's got me feeling all these things.
The costume kind of reminds me of like Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah,
Kind of.
absolutely, mate. That's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Spewing through. Yeah, it's an amazing bit of work. The album itself is one of the best albums in the world, in my opinion.
I'm gonna need to listen to it now.
It's not my favorite album of all time, but it's definitely up there. But 100% one of my favorite bits of album artwork of all time. And I really need to remember the name of the photographer. 1 second, let me look it up.
I also actually really love
The type.
the tight,
It's
the
beautiful.
white, and then this.
It's so
It's
good.
designed like, because I'd say that's what I lean towards more all the time. It's like minimalist. It kind of, you'll see from the albums that I've chosen, but
Oh, brilliant.
I always lean more towards minimalistic kind of design.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that was it. Anouk Burton, who I could not find anywhere on the internet. I found nothing. I couldn't work out.
Yeah.
He, she, they, nothing. But they've done the artwork for all of M83's, well, all the photography for M83's album arts that have photography.
Every single one.
Some of them are illustrated,
Yeah.
but the ones that are photography, it's Anouk Burton.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's cool. They've got a freaking collaborator, and it's mysterious because I can't find any of their work. It's really interesting. But anyway, that's my That's my first one.
Nice.
Big love. Big love.
Nice.
Okay.
Right.
So, talk me through. Well, who is this?
So it's Caesar.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
I've been saying Cesare.
Yeah. What S?
Oh,
Z-A, Caesar.
S of the
Caesar.
Caesar.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And this is her album SOS.
SOS, right?
Came out a few years ago. Obviously very simple.
No, I love this.
Yeah, do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. It's so
It's
nice.
her looking out to sea, just sat on a plank, wearing her branded jersey for the album. It's a multi-genre album. So it's like bit of soul, bit of jazz, bit of rap in there. So bit of everything. It's a
Nice.
very like mixed album, but I love it because the artwork was actually inspired by a paparazzi photo of Princess Diana
What?
of the same shot. So I don't know if you know it or not, but
It's ringing a bell actually.
do you know
sitting in a pool?
it's her sitting on it's very similar image. It's her sitting on a board looking out to sea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why did she base it on the Diana photo?
Well, it was kind of, she says here, it was that famous photo of Princess Diana. It was taken in 1997. Similar pose of her sitting aboard a yacht during a trip to Italy. But it's like feelings of isolation.
Yeah.
And she kind of wanted to that image to sort of come across into the album as well. Isolation, romance.
Well, Princess Diana was completely isolated.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally. So that makes perfect sense.
Definitely. And also she said that she loved kind of how that cross culture, how that iconic image of Princess Diana can be recreated by a rapper from America.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's it's a timeless image.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a geographical foundation.
Yeah.
Does that make
That's true. No, that is true.
I actually is it gone? There it is. I actually love that. It's so nice. Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that before, but I love it.
Yeah.
Also,
So I do want to get that on vinyl actually.
That is that's really nice.
Yeah, it's a nice image. It's not one of my favorites of hers either. I feel like she's got better albums.
So the album art, I could just like
the album guys. Yeah.
It's always a shame when you find a beautiful bit of album art and then you listen to the album and you're like, oh, yeah, kind of upsetting. But damn, I might have to listen to that.
Yeah.
Never judge a book by its cover, but in this case, I will. Beautiful, nice. Any more?
No, that's my first. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Pass this back to you for a second. The next one I wanted to talk about is Flamingod's Head of Pomegranate.
Let's see. Nice.
So there's a bit of a.
I like this.
This is nice.
This is my aesthetic too. Yeah.
The colours of it are so nice. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but there's this, like a. Well, to be honest, it's a pomegranate coloured tablecloth here, then goes up into this sort of teal green at the top. But this album is amazing. I saw this band for the first time at Wonderfell Festival last year.
No way.
I went to go see them because they are from Bahrain, where I lived, and I got speaking to them before they went on, and we went to the same school at different points in time. I joined in year 8, and when I went into year 9, they just finished 6th form. So it was like a brief sort of whoop, and then we met again. It like nearly 15 years later. Crazy.
They're playing in Falmouth.
Mental. Fell in love with their music. This album in particular is probably my favourite of their albums.
What sort of style is it?
Well, actually, I'll go into that because it's related to the art.
Okay.
So the album artwork, it's actually a photograph by a French photographer called Denis Deluxe. And it was taken in Cairo in the 90s, where the photographer still lives. And basically, the band has loved his work for years. And in their Instagram post when they released this album, they said the image reminds them of the Arab world, nostalgia, and the picturesque, carefree attitude that the lead singer's dad always had. Because sadly, the lead singer's dad, he passed away while they were making the album, and it became a kind of tribute to him. Head of Pomegranate in the Arab language is the name of the town that the lead singer's dad grew up in Bahrain, and it translates in English to Head of Pomegranate, which is awesome. And so the contrast between the photograph and then the logo design by Raisa Pardini. It's this beautiful juxtaposition between like that mirrors the music, because the music blends traditional elements of like Middle Eastern world music with synth pop and electronica and like psychedelia. So it's this beautiful fusion of like these two massively different genres. And I think the album art does an amazing job of that. And also the sentiment behind it is beautiful. And superficially, I think the composition's incredible. Just
Right,
that
yeah,
amazing
yeah.
photograph, slightly grainy, the pomegranate at the bottom, that teal going at the back, the nice logo up top, the smoke from the cigarette going up to it.
Color theory.
Color
Yeah,
theory.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just such an amazing bit of artwork. Honorable mention is their other album, Levitation, with artwork by, I've forgotten the guy's name who did the artwork, but this guy, he does loads of cool stuff. But I love this album artwork as well. I think it's amazing. It captures sort of Bahraini vibes once again, but this one just, yeah, I can't fault something that's perfect. And this is perfection to me. So that's my second one.
Come on.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Let me
you might know this one.
I don't know this album.
Okay. Do you know Lana Del Rey?
Yeah, I know Lana Del Rey.
Okay. This is her Honeymoon album.
Okay.
So that's actually the main album cover that was used everywhere.
Right.
Promotion, CDs, everything. I actually have a vinyl, which is a slightly different cover, but I'm just obsessed with the whole aesthetic of the thing.
Okay.
Of this. How it opens out.
Ooh. Oh yeah, okay.
Plus, let me show you.
Oh, beautiful.
Red vinyl.
That's nice.
It's
What
nice
do you prefer,
together.
that one or that one? Because I think I prefer this one.
I think I prefer this
I
one.
like the simplicity of it. Maybe bring it a bit higher up.
Yeah.
People can see. What do we think? Chat, what do we think? Nah, I think this one's better. I like the and also what's that say? Trust no one. Down there.
Yeah.
That just sort of, I don't know, it resonates more with me. I kind of feel like this one,
Looking directly into the camera.
I don't know, I feel like this one reminds me a little bit of like American road trip compilation albums, which you see in like,
That's why I love it.
I don't know.
I love it for that. Well, there's something fun about that image. It was taken by her sister,
Okay, well now I
which
feel
is
like
nice.
asshole.
Like family holiday, and she's actually on a tour bus for. It's like an LA tour bus.
Oh, I see.
Starlight
Oh,
tour.
you mean like, okay, I thought you meant it was her tour bus.
No. Like a one for LA. And I love it because the number on the bus, when she was doing all the promo and the album launch for it, people could actually call the 1-800 number and it would play clips from the album
Oh, that's
at the other end.
that's nice.
Plus, every now and then, Lana would answer the
What?
phones and speak to fans. Yeah.
That's so cool though.
But yeah. And this is actually the one that's one of my favorite albums ever. I just like the music. I love
This album. So this is good because then we can exchange albums.
Yeah.
That's all good. No, big fan of that. Big fan. This one I particularly like just the way that the typography is done here as well at the top and the bottom. It just feels like much more me, you know?
Yeah.
No, yeah. Nice.
That's my second one.
Okay.
Get to the side.
One more for me. Now, this is my favorite album of all time.
Okay, this is
And-
one.
And that is Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell.
This is one of your favorite albums ever.
This is my favorite album ever.
Really?
This is number one. It's every time I listen to it, I get distracted by what I'm doing because I keep getting goosebumps like up my spine and shit.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's the second song, You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth, brackets, Hot Summer Night. When that hits and drops, I'm like, fuck whatever I'm doing. I'm just like, this album artwork is insane. It's have you had a good look at it?
I'm putting it somewhere.
Have a look at this, right? So it's it's a nude man on a motorcycle adorned with a skull of a horse ripping out of the ground while a bat screeches atop a mausoleum.
Wow.
The whole thing is just like an absolute, it almost borders on manliness, like too much manliness. Yet it's not that. It's not. It. I'll talk about it a bit more, but essentially, the person who did who did the album artwork, is Richard Corbin, and he sadly passed away in 2020. But he's a very, very influential comic book artist.
Mm-hmm.
He actually sort of rose to fame, was most well known for his stint as a comic book writer and illustrator for Heavy Metal magazine in the 70s. Heavy Metal magazine is an American like science fiction magazine, and it's like primarily known for its really dark and gory, and even got some erotica going on in there. And because it's a magazine format, they weren't confined to comic book restraints at the time, so they were allowed to show graphic violence
Oh,
and sexuality and stuff because it was a magazine and not a comic book.
Mm.
Strange loophole, but they did it. So, and a lot of Corbin's work, was with that magazine, and he created a character called Den, which ended up being used in the film adaptation of Heavy Metal, which is a film I used to watch all the time at university when I was gardening.
Wait, what's the film?
Heavy Metal.
Ah, it's called Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I used to watch it a lot after I'd gardened, which is yeah.
Why?
Gardening is smoking pot. It's been a long, long time since that. But
Thanks.
yeah. But anyway, moving on. I watched, but yeah. So the film is very, very surreal, and Richard Corbin's work sort of like branches into those areas. And a lot of his work features quite explicit imagery. In fact, his work was actually accused once of being pornographic, but he said he prefers the term sensual. Yeah, there might be some truth in the pornographic aspect, but I digress. Doesn't matter. But anyway, it's fairly apparent that the album cover takes on a lot of that really sexual fire that his work has. He's had a mint career. He ended up doing work for Marvel, DC, and ends up doing some work with Hellboy, which is my favorite comic book character of all time. But actually, in an interview with Jim Steinman, who wrote all the songs for this album, he's the one who actually briefed Richard Corbin for the album cover.
Mm-hmm.
And this quote is amazing that he said. He said, "Certain words immediately come to mind in regard to Corbin's art. Heroic, majestic, multidimensional, tactile, cinematic, erotic, obsessive. But for me, most of all, his images seem not so much created as they are unleashed. They possess the muscular density and abandon of rock and roll, as well as the formal stylization and luxuriant turbulence of opera. In Corbin's words, the acoustic has been banished. Everything is gloriously amplified. Every frame seems to be born either directly before, during, or after an ecstatic moment of action, and the specific nature of the action is ultimately far less important than the explosive release it provides. The sexual richness of Richard Corbin's work is overwhelming. This is a world that is endlessly horny for wonder and magic."
Nice.
And I was like, that perfectly captures not only the album art, but the album itself. The entire thing is this loud, boisterous, operatic rock thing that just blew my mind. The first time I heard Bat Out of Hell, it was like a spiritual experience. I was like, oh my lord. And I think no other album in history has a better bit of art that represents it than this album, I think. The way the bike explodes out of the ground, the way the bat is screeching like, how dare you, because he's escaping hell, basically.
Yeah.
The way he's back on the bike, like, ah! Lots of people think he's doing quite like a rude thing on the back of the bike, like mid ecstasy or something. I'm not going to make that assumption, but I just think the whole thing is like, ooh, it's like what Steinman said in that interview. It's just his images aren't created; they are unleashed.
Yeah.
And that's what that feels like. Yeah,
I like that description.
it's a
Yeah.
beautiful bit of
Yeah.
journalism right there. But yeah, you should look up Richard Corbin's work actually, because it's fucking amazing. It's this ultra specific style which is I think why it was so what's the word, so influential, because he's just this absurdly detailed, strange, horrific, like, character design and monster and creature designs that he does. It just makes you feel so like mesmerized and horrified and not turned on. But
We're
like,
gonna need to listen to this now.
yeah,
Straight after us going on.
yeah. But Richard Corbin, the artist, his like design work is just
Yeah.
like, it's just a beautiful pairing.
So, and you said he ended up doing some bits for Marvel and stuff.
Yeah, he did some work for one of the later Punisher comics. There's I think it's called Punisher: The End, where Punisher walks through a world ravaged by nuclear war or something. But to be honest, I'm much more interested in his pre-Marvel stuff because it's got that 70s grime, just that like filthy, dirty, like roughness that Heavy Metal magazine is known for. Yeah, it's good shit. Really good shit. So that is the last one I'm going to talk about today. Best album ever made. You can quote me on that. Right. Go on then, your final one.
Okay, no.
Do show. We're gonna have to.
I'm liking these.
We're gonna have to find a better format because this back and forth is getting quite exhausting.
Okay.
Okay, I've never seen this before. That is wild.
But you've heard of Grace Jones.
I've heard of Grace Jones. I've never seen this album before, and that's
Grace Jones.
insane.
Island Life. This is the
Are we not show
iconic.
this? We can probably show this.
It's iconic. The image.
I had never seen this image before in my life.
Yeah.
How? That's
I'm
awesome.
obsessed.
That's the favorite. That's my favorite one so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Out of mind. Yeah.
I love the. I wish I could. Hang on. I absolutely love the type. I love the blue background. I love the sock she's wearing. Oh, that's so cool. All right, talk to me about it.
It's a cool pose, isn't it? So it's a greatest hits album. So there's a compilation of her greatest hits. The cover is one of the most famous images in like album art history.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or can be said.
Okay,
Can be said.
is it
Yeah,
featured in lists, basically?
Yeah, it's featured in this. Yeah. I love it. It was actually created at the time by her then partner, who was Jean-Paul Goude. And it's actually a montage of separate images pieced together.
I thought that's one image.
So it's cut and paint technique. So her body position is anatomically unlikely.
Right.
Is the frame?
That was just she was doing that.
No. Yeah.
When was it made?
That's a good question. 1980s, I think it would have been.
I'm so far removed. I thought this was like 2010s. Straight up.
80s.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive compositing for 80s graphic work. That's insane.
And the album itself, like the music is just.
What kind of music is it?
It's. Oh, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's Grace Jones. I don't. You just need to.
All right.
It's her style. She's got her own like style.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think she's from Jamaica. Is it? So that's why it's called Island Life.
Oh,
And it's like, yeah. But if you pop onto the next slide, because
we were
Kylie in the car, who I actually love as well. This album art was inspired by that.
Oh.
Yeah.
By the way, can I just say Fever is one of the best albums ever.
Obsessed.
It's yeah, I listened to a
Dance
track
pop.
that
Yeah.
repeat.
Yeah.
Naked at First Sight, Come Into My World, Spinning Around.
Look at you being serious.
Mate, Come Into My World is one of the best dance tracks ever. Love at First Sight is probably in my top 100 songs, period.
Nice. It was love. That's the one.
Didn't you supposed to finish it?
I have first sight, 'cause baby.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that was inspired by Grace Jones. The pose.
It makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
As I think Grace Jones' album artwork is infinitely better than that one.
Yeah.
I do think that
But this one, it was, I like you with that guy earlier, tried to look up the guy who designed it. I couldn't find any.
the Gracie Jones one.
No, this one.
Right.
Couldn't find much information, but it was a electro minimalism they were going for.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
fair. I mean, it's a definite product at the time, isn't it? Because that came out in, what, 2003? I think this album did? Fever did. It was 2003, I think,
Yeah, okay.
around that time. So that definitely makes sense. I just feel like the actual sound of Fever,
I like the minimalism of it.
it's all right. I think the sound of the album isn't quite captured by that.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so big and like the music video for Can't Get You Out of My Head. Amazing.
Yeah.
That visual would be good as hell.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's so cool. I did not know that was
The
inspired by the Great
yeah.
Gatsby one. So
Yeah.
hey, every day's a school day. Would you like to make any honorable mentions?
I don't think I have any more honorable mentions.
None at all. Okay.
I didn't think about doing an honorable mention.
I guess I could talk about one. I was
Which this is.
I was going to include this one because we were going to do 5 each, like we'd have fucking time for that. I wanted to talk about Discovery by Daft Punk. Now, this is part bias, part truth, because when I first heard this album, I was 15 and I was living in Bahrain, and it completely changed my taste in music, like forever. I started listening to The Prodigy more. I started listening to everything Daft Punk did. I started looking at more and more and more electronic music, and that bled into basically all of my tastes today. Yeah, so I basically owe all of my music taste to Daft Punk. The reason this one is so good as a bit of artwork is because that melted chrome logo perfectly captures that sound of the album. Daft Punk in 2001 were on another level. They were sampling like maniacs and they were doing these crazy sounds. And it does sound like liquid metal.
Yeah.
It's just like liquid chrome in your ears. And it's perfect. Like,
And they really have their own sound.
there's no
You hear it and you're like, that's Daft Punk.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. This is their best album, 100% for me. I mean, Random Access Memories was good. This is on another level. This was rated number 10 in Apple's 100 best albums of all time. Number 10.
Wow. In the top 10. Nice.
Correct. Do you know what number 1 was?
I was just thinking that.
To be fair, number 1 is a sick album.
Go on.
It's The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Bro, it is a cracker of an album.
I know who Lauryn Hill is, but I can't say I've
The album artwork.
properly listened to
The album artwork is okay.
Yeah.
It's a definite product of the times because it's clearly been done digitally before that technology had really been
Right. Yeah.
But I like the sentiment. But the album itself, I can't fault it. But anyway, honorable mention because I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
I like how bold it is as well. It's like what Daft Punk.
Yeah,
That's who you are.
yeah.
That's what we sound like. Bang. It's pretty. It's awesome. And then they broke up. Sad times. Yeah. Awesome stuff. I've gone quite quickly this one.
Yeah. That's all right. Some can be long, some can be short.
All right, cool. So yeah, that was our favorite album artwork.
Yeah.
Interesting. The differences, between the albums is so like broad.
But I actually still really loved what you showed.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that they were going to be so different that I'd be like, that's not my style.
This is horrible. Yeah. What was your favorite one of my 3?
Probably the Flaming Mingoes one.
Flaming Mingos. Flamingos. Flamingos. Flaming Mingos is fucking wild. Fuck's sake.
That one. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like Flaming Mingos too.
What about your favourite one of mine?
Oh, Grace Jones.
Nice.
100%. I'm going to...
Well, actually, but I was a little bit annoyed because I went on to...
Are you right? You're crying.
I know. I went on to Spotify because I wanted to re-listen to the Grace Jones album, and all of like that album art and stuff has been removed and been replaced with just like some generic, because there's like a legal battle with who owns the image and stuff. So that's a bit of a shame when that happens.
Stop making fans sad. Like, who cares? Just...
Yeah.
On a slightly different note, just because we've been talking about it the whole time, I want to know, why has Charlie XCX changed the Bratz album art? It's the same
I'll
up,
bring this up.
but it's scratched out now with like a rust effect on it. Why did she do that? Do you know?
I
Should we
think
look
it's
it up?
like teasing, like a new summer.
But it doesn't
I
feel
feel
like
like
a
it's
summer. It
kind
looks a
of-
bit scary to me.
Rotting away the old one that's going to reveal like a new.
See?
Yeah.
I'm gonna still Google it. Why has the Brat album? See, people have Googled it. Has undergone a series of changes initially perceived as a simple aesthetic choice, but ultimately revealing a deeper commentary on art identity and community in the digital age. What? How?
I think it's just going to be a new color.
But that's not very interesting. I do think also, I don't agree with Charlie XCX changing all of her old album artworks to one that look like the Brat album.
Yeah, I could
Because
say.
the Brat album has its own sound and its own vibe,
Mm,
and the album cover captures that. Whatever song,
like Crash.
yeah,
Yeah.
Crash with when she's on the windshield.
Yeah.
That's a sick album cover. Don't change that. I'm still trying to find out. Yeah, cover seems to be rusting off. Oh, it was done bit by bit. The scratch came in and then the rust came in. It's
Ah.
interesting. Someone says she's trying to tell us about aliens. Someone said the apple's rotting to the core, like it's a green apple.
One of the songs is called Apple.
Oh, people are saying this.
Mm.
I think you might be right. I think it's like Brat Summer is over. There's a new summer coming, so it's rusting away.
Yeah.
Whether or not Charlie XCX will be part of that
Mm.
is yet to be told. But interesting. And I've also really turned on to the Brat album artwork.
Really?
Initially, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then I was like, "Oh, it actually makes sense." I listened to a few of the tracks,
I think,
and I was like, "Oh shit, it actually captures that sound."
yeah, and the branding is quite clever how that green is kind of taken over. Like she's wearing that green. She's done collaborations with brands with that green. And it's like, you see that green now and you just think of that.
Yeah,
Well, a lot of people do, but yeah.
it's props to her because it's somehow that's worked out. And usually I'd be staunchly against it, but I actually think it's kind of sick. Maybe we could do one on we could do our worst album artworks. I mean, ones that we think are absolutely horrendous. Because back in uni, there was one which came out, and I was like, "This is horrible," and you were like, "I love it."
What was
That was Kanye West's Life of Pablo.
Oh, yeah, I do love that.
It's fine. You know what? You're allowed to like Life of Pablo, the album artwork.
Yeah.
And you're okay to do that. That's totally fine. I just don't understand it. Anyway, let's not end this on a negative note. Let's be happy. Well,
Oh, and Seb's hair is silver.
oh, my hair's silver. I didn't dye it though. I'm just really stressed right now. No, I did dye it. My partner Catherine's away for 7 weeks, and she doesn't like when I dye my hair. So I thought, well, you're gone. I'll do it for a bit, and then she'll come back, and I'll probably shave it all off or something. I don't know. Dye it back to brown. That's what I'll do. Anyway,
Hi.
thanks so much.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. I like these ones where we talk about things that are much more like
Yeah.
I was so excited to talk about all of them. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, I hope that
And
was
like
interesting.
discovering things that we didn't know as well.
Yeah, 26
Yeah.
years of friendship and you're still full of surprises. Yeah, what a great time. Yeah, we'll tune back in next Tuesday for the for episode 3. Mental. Episode 3. But yeah, until then, be good. If you can't be good, be careful. Any last
Bye. Bye.